What's going on? What's happening, fellas? Let's get right into it. So today I'm going to give you guys 5 basic things that are literally killing your testosterone. All right, fellas, in today's modern world, there are many things that can kill your testosterone that you probably aren't even aware of. All right, fellas, but there are certain things that are in your control and you can definitely fix today. And I'm going to help you out with that. All right, fellas, let's get right into it. Now, the first thing that's destroying your testosterone, guys, and I brought out the whiteboard today to help simplify this and break this down so you can actually see everything written out. All right, guys, I definitely recommend you taking notes if testosterone is a problem for you. Now, the first thing, guys, the first thing that you need to solve, and that's definitely a problem, that's definitely killing your testosterone, is high body fat. All right, guys, high body fat. If you're overweight and or obese, this is definitely killing your testosterone production. And the reason why, guys, is because high body fat, literally any excessive body fat that you have, converts testosterone to estrogen. This is why you see a lot of guys with gynecomastia. All right, fellas. And if you don't know what gynecomastia is, it's basically when you have man titties. All right, fellas. These right here. All right, guys. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not attractive. It's not attractive to women. When people see you, more than likely, they're not going to take you seriously because it's a clear sign that you don't take care of your body and you don't take care of yourself. All right, fellas. So high body fat is definitely bringing your testosterone levels down. All right, fellas. And not only the gynecomastia, but also when you have body fat and when you're overweight, you're usually fatigued and you usually have low energy, meaning you're not going to want to go out and work out. You're not going to want to go out and push your body and push yourself physically, which will result into lowering your testosterone more. All right, fellas, this is why I always tell you guys the first proponent, the first step and the foundation in life is fitness. All right, fellas, if you get in the best shape of your life, if you get jacked, you build some muscles, I guarantee you that's one less problem that you will have with low testosterone. All right, let's move on. Now, the next thing that's killing your testosterone, fellas, is a sedentary or inactive lifestyle. Now, fellas, I'm going to be honest about this, guys. In my opinion, this might be contrary to popular belief, but I think all men should train strength training, pretty much. All men should be hitting the weights, all right, whether that's 3 times a week, 5 times a week, or every single day of the week. Every single man should be strength training. And the reason why is because the more muscle you have, the more your body produces testosterone. Okay, guys, it's a revolving effect. The more testosterone you have, the easier it is to build muscle. The more muscle you have, the easier it is to keep your testosterone levels high. All right, fellas. So it's really simple when you think about it. All right. The more fat you have, the higher your estrogen is going to be, the lower your testosterone is going to be, the lower energy you're going to have, and every other defect and downside of having low testosterone. The more muscle you have, the higher your testosterone is, the lower your estrogen is, and you'll be able to reap the benefits of having high testosterone. All right, fellas. So, like I said, a sedentary lifestyle is not good for men. All right, guys, it is not good to be lazy. And aside from like mindset and on being on your purpose and all this stuff, bro, for your body, for your health, it is not good to sit around the house all day. All right, guys, there's several things when it comes to a sedentary lifestyle that's killing you, like lack of sunlight. Many men lack vitamin D along with some other nutrients that men should be getting every day. All right, fellas. So sunlight, getting out, lifting weights, being active, sweating. All right, fellas. All of these things will ultimately help you build higher testosterone and lower estrogen levels, so you don't end up gaining weight. So it's easier for you to build muscle. All right, fellas. Now, the next thing that's killing your testosterone, guys, is lack of sleep. All right, fellas. Now, I know we all have priorities. We all have things we need to do. A lot of those things is going to keep us up at night. It's going to make us get up early in the morning, fellas. So sleep is sometimes not a big priority for a lot of men. I get it. If you're a busy man, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're on the move, if you're on your purpose, you're probably not getting a lot of sleep. All right, fellas. But if you are having problems with your testosterone, all right, fellas, which if you are an older guy, probably over the age of 35, 40, all right, fellas, sleep is a big deal. All right, fellas, just like you prioritize anything in life, you must prioritize sleep. All right, fellas, and the simple fact, because guys, the simple fact is when you get REM sleep, REM sleep, you know that deep sleep where people can barely wake you up, guys, that real deep sleep. The more you get REM sleep, the more testosterone is produced because testosterone is naturally produced during REM sleep when your body is fully resting. All right, fellas. So if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not getting at least 6 hours of sleep every night, some people say 8. I've even heard some people say 10. Some people are good with 4, but I think the baseline is 6 to 7 hours a night. All right, fellas. I believe any man, I'm not gonna say a normal man, but any man in today's world can prioritize 6 hours of sleep. Now, if you can't because of your job, let's say you work 20 hours a day and you barely have time to sleep, get as much sleep as you can. If you can, take naps during the day. Most men can't take naps, but if you have the luxury of taking naps, all right, guys, and you don't get much sleep at night, I recommend it. It's only going to help you out in the end. It's only going to help you outperform other men because your testosterone is higher. All right, guys, another thing that lack of sleep does is it increases cortisol levels. All right, fellas, which ultimately lowers your testosterone. All right, guys, this is why too much caffeine is not a good idea because it increases cortisol levels. I drink coffee, I love caffeine, but I have to gauge how much I drink because I know ultimately it affects my testosterone. Everybody feels good on caffeine, man. All right, but it does produce cortisol, which lowers your testosterone. Now, number 4 thing that's killing your testosterone, guys, is poor diet. All right, fellas, guys, look, this is probably the most obvious thing and the most easiest thing to understand. All right, guys, whatever you put in your body, you are going to get out. All right, fellas, but there are some main culprits when it comes to food, and the main one is sugar. All right, guys, sugar and refined carbohydrates, the bad carbs. All right, fellas, the white breads, the white pastas. All right, guys, all the high carbohydrate foods, you got to get out your body. All right, guys, you got to stop consuming. And the main reason why is because those carbs ultimately turn to fat. All right, guys, and like I said in the first point, the higher your body fat, the higher your estrogen. All right, guys, high body fat and testosterone do not get along. All right, guys, do not get along. The men that you're going to see with the highest testosterone levels, they usually have lean bodies. All right, guys, they usually have low body fat. All right, fellas, if you see any guy with high body fat and high testosterone, he's an anomaly. It's probably genetic that he has high testosterone. But most men, 90% of men with high body fat have low testosterone. And it's because of the diet. Okay, guys, it's a simple mathematical equation. Bad carbs turn into fat. Fat turns into low testosterone. All right, guys, it is easy. This is why you being in the best shape of your life is going to be one of the best things that you can do for yourself. All right, fellas, you will be way more driven, way more ambitious, way more aggressive when you have high testosterone. All right, guys, and the last thing, and this is my favorite one because I get this argument all the time. I've debated many guys on this, and that's alcohol. All right, guys, and let me be very precise about this. Alcohol ultimately does not lower your testosterone. It's excessive alcohol. All right, fellas, because a lot of guys will argue. Well, I know a lot of men, a lot of macho men, and they have high testosterone. They still drink. All right, fellas, what you have to understand is anything you put in your body will have an effect. But the more you put any certain thing in your body, the more that effect will be. All right, fellas, we all know alcohol isn't good. All right, guys. Yeah, you having fun. Yeah, you partying and all this stuff. But I've never met a man that after he finished drinking, he felt good. You may not have a hangover, but you don't feel as good as if you drank a bottle of water. All right, guys. And even if you drink a bottle of Gatorade, you don't feel as good when you drink that alcohol. All right, guys. So it's the immediate feeling that you already feel, also the long-term effects of excessive alcohol. All right, guys. Too much alcohol is not good. One of the problems is your liver. All liquids that you put in your body, pretty much everything that you put in your body passes through your liver. All right, fellas. And if you're putting alcohol, poison into your liver, your body's ability to metabolize testosterone will drop. Okay, guys, a lot of your testosterone is metabolized through your liver from the things that you're eating. But if you're putting alcohol in there, you're disrupting the process. All right, fellas, it's like pouring poison or gasoline in the garden. All right, fellas. Yeah, you planted the garden, you did all this stuff, all this good stuff. You water it, you planted it, you got sunlight, it got the breeze and everything, but you drop some gasoline on it. All right, fellas. That's how it is when you're putting alcohol into your liver, into your system. Your body will have a lot of trouble metabolizing testosterone. All right, fellas. So I'm not saying you got to stop drinking. Me, myself, I don't drink at all. All right, fellas. But if you want to have high testosterone and if you drink a lot, I recommend you cutting that down. All right, guys, moderating it, whatever you got to do. All right, fellas, but you have to understand alcohol is a big culprit when it comes to low testosterone. All right, fellas, another thing with alcohol is weight gain. Alcohol is one of the reasons why many men gain that beer belly. Y'all know that beer belly you see guys with? The reason why they call it a beer belly is because we all know that comes from excess alcohol, especially beer. All right, fellas. And like I said, back to the first point. All right, fellas, my little arrow right there. Back to the first point. The likelihood of you having testosterone with high body fat is very low. All right, fellas, very low. Another thing is sleep patterns. All right, fellas, people who drink a lot usually don't get steady sleep. And like I mentioned in number three, okay, lack of sleep, lack of REM sleep, that deep sleep that we all need. All right, fellas, you're not going to get that, and that does not produce testosterone. All right, guys, it actually turns testosterone into estrogen, increases your cortisol levels, which lowers your test. All right, fellas, now, this is the thing, guys. There are three main benefits to having high testosterone. And I want to make this simple, guys. More money, more muscle, and more women. All right, fellas, you have high testosterone, you're going to make more money because you're going to be ambitious. You're going to have more energy. If you have high testosterone, you're going to get more women can read you and know when a man has high testosterone. It's part of the nature. And another thing, more muscles. All right, fellas, the more testosterone you have, the higher your levels, the easier it is to get jacked. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. If you have not gotten my free guide for boosting your testosterone naturally, guys, a link is in that description, is where I give you 13 easy natural ways to increase your testosterone. All right, fellas. Thanks again for watching today. It's your boy KD, man. We out of here, baby.